have 4 o'clock, and we only have an hour for this webinar, and we have about 60 slides. So let's get started. Thank you guys for joining today. You are joining NCEES CEUs, My PD and My Transcript 2021-2022. I am Cammie Nairn, and let's get to the next slide here. And I do work for NCDPI in the home base group, and I manage the NCEES system. Our NCEES business owner, and he manages very well. He's awesome. He knows all the policies for Educator standards, and he is the Educator Standards and Evaluation Director, Dr. Robert Sox. Not sure if he can join us today, but he will if he can. If you have any policy questions, we'll direct those to him later. And also joining me today is Audrey Long on my team. She's going to help us with questions. Audrey manages learning.com, and I'd like for her to say hello too.
Hello. I hope everyone is doing well.
Okay, you're very quiet, Audrey.
Oh, you can hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I was just saying good afternoon. Hope everyone is doing well.
All right. Thank you, Audrey.
Uh-huh.
And Audrey, if you'll, I don't know if you want to copy the link I've got out there, but every once in a while, as people join, we did have over 300 register. We only currently have about 50 logged in right this minute, but I'm sure some more will join us. And we are recording today's session, so it will be available. I do send it out to everybody that registered, and then everybody that attended later will get the follow-up message. We are holding our session in WebEx meetings. So if you're new to WebEx meetings, most of you that have been coming to DPI webinars are now familiar with it. But we do ask you to put your chat and questions in the chat bar so everybody can see them. Of course, if you have a private question, if you maybe look under the 3 dots, you can open the question and answer panel and send that just to myself. And we'll answer those later if needed, or take care of them at the end of the session. You can have your camera on or off. Most of you will see a bar like you see down below these blue boxes. You can turn on closed captions. Those are enabled if you need help with the words. If it can understand my southern accent, it does like to spell nieces like our nieces and nephews, so just watch for that. You can unmute if you have questions. I'm perfectly fine with that. You can also put your questions in the chat. And if you have audio issues, look to switch your audio under the 3 dots. All right, so when you registered, there was a box, and it wasn't very self-explanatory. It just said questions. I thought I had typed more in there. But if you had any questions, these are what were entered. So just read over those real quick. I'll read out a couple, and we're going to answer these throughout our session today. My district doesn't offer PDs for digital competency. How can I get the 2 CEUs by June 22nd? What CEUs should a beginning teacher register for? I've moved to a new county and my CEUs have not transferred. What can I do? I've come from out of state and I need to understand what I need and how to get CEUs. Somebody had a question about their transcript, and then they need to know what are the requirements to recertify? What if I'm retired? Where is PD available? How many CEUs do I need to renew my license, and in what areas? Somebody asked, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. And then what's the best way to check CEUs, and do you have to meet a certain number of CEUs annually? Those are local decisions. We'll talk about those later. And then what PD is offered, and are there written directions or an on-demand video? So we'll go through this session, and I hope you'll see the answers to all of those. We will review these questions at the end of our session. Okay. All right, we're up to 70 folks. Great. Y'all keep joining, and we'll keep the link to the slides in the chat. Today we're going to look at professional development. So hopefully you guys are all where you know how to log into NCEES and get to this professional development tab. I do need to let you know that in NCEES, courses which you're looking for are called learning opportunities. And that's because there are different kinds of learning opportunities that can be in NCEES. So because NCEES has our DPI courses for you out there that are free to take. Your district, if they've opted into home base, they can have their own PD office and put in any type of credit earning opportunity in a local PD office for you to take as well. So that could be book studies, some regional PD, PLCs could go in there, district department led PD, things that are related to your professional development growth plans. All kinds of different PD is in NCEES. If you've earned PD outside of NCEES, we do have a way to request that it be added to your NCEES transcripts, and that's what NCEES Transfer Credit Manager, and we'll talk about that and when you should or should not use it. All right, I think I already see a question out here. Do international teachers get a CEU? Everybody, if you're talking about for participation today, everybody at the end of this session will have a link to our feedback survey. If you fill out that feedback survey, it does email you back an email, and in the body of the email is your certificate for 0.1 CEU today. You can print that out. It is not automatically approved. You do have to turn it into your district for approval. Okay. All right, so we're going to start with looking at the professional development tab, the course search, and the different ways to refine your course searches. So I said we were going to go to NCEES, and let's just jump over there. Before we go to professional development, I'm going to show you under your initials up here. I don't know if everybody has ever noticed, but there's a tab called Snapshot. And if you go under your initials, if you've been working in NCEES and you've earned credits, you can see what credits you've earned under your snapshot. I'm going to ask them to change the color up here, but the top is going to be your total number of CEUs that you've earned. And then it kind of gives you a snapshot of what's on your transcript. It's going to say, well, here I've earned 0.2 with leadership, 0.4 general, 0.2 literacy, and 0.9 DLCs. And I can click on those links, and it will tell me what courses I took to earn that. So again, that's under your initials, manage your profile, and go to your snapshot. So some of you are wanting to know where to go to see what you've taken. That's one of the first little places you could go look. So let's get over to professional development. And if you've been out here already, you've probably been trying to search for courses. We hope to give you some tips today. The main box is your course search box at the top of the page. You can search for courses. If your district is using PD playlists, and that's where the courses are bundled together in a playlist, they do have to be in NCEES to be in a playlist in NCEES. And they can have playlists for beginning teachers. You just have to work with your district and find out if there's any out there. So we're going to pretty much work on searching for courses today. You can type any search word in the search bar here. If you want to know what it's searching for, hover over that letter I in the circle. NCEES has informational circles spread throughout the system. So here you can search for a course number, a course title, a course description, section number, section titles, section notes, and instructor names. So you also have an advanced search. I'll click on that real quick. I don't know a lot of people that use this, but you can, if you're looking for an instructor-led section and you know what date it starts on, you could put that in there. If you know if it's a Moodle course or we don't use all of these. We use Moodle and we use Canvas, NCDPI, and we use non-Moodle.
Excuse me, Cammie, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Someone would like to know, when your license is renewed, do all of your CEUs disappear?
No, not in NCEES. It's a record. It keeps a record, and when we look at your transcript, I'll show you how to sort your transcript. So you can maybe just look at the 5 years that you want to know, do I have the credits for this 5-year period? Okay. We want to jump right in. We're going to look at the rest of this on this page in just a minute. These are refinement areas, but I want to jump under to show all. All right, so we did a show all, and it says you found 128 courses. And that's because I am in the training site. In fact, I want to change this. I'm going to go jump back a minute. Give me just a second. I want to be in here as a teacher, so it looks more like what you're going to see. So let me go find my teacher. There we go. All right. So notice I don't have as many things at the top now. I had the state level stuff up here and I didn't want it all cluttered for you. So here's what a teacher can see. And here's professional development. And we did show all. Now you're going to see more courses because you're in the North Carolina area. These are our training accounts and my account is in our training area. So I'm not going to see as many, you'll see more. But notice it did show me all the courses that I do have published in the training area. And if you look at the top right, you can sort this course A to Z, Z to A by course number if you want the numbers to be in order. It's not always accurate, but sometimes it works. We don't use ratings. Nobody rates the courses in here, but you can use views. So maybe you want to know what are the courses that most people are taking. So I did views high to low. So right here, this course, it has had over 240,000 views. So maybe these are the ones that the beginning teachers are taking. So you can use that search to try to see what are most people taking. And these little pins up here, this is handy because maybe I'm looking at this course, I've read the little blurb there and I'm interested, but I don't know that I want to take it yet. I can pin it to view it later. I'm just going to pin a few. All right, and then once I've pinned my courses, I have up here, show just my pinned courses. So now I'm only looking at the courses that I've pinned, and then I can now decide whether to click into them and start them. Yes, Audrey.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know if you heard. Anyway,
Yeah.
I was trying to get your attention. Can you quickly go back to how you got on that site that you're showing? Someone wanted to know.
Yes, so we're in the actual NCEES production site. So when you're at your school, if you are in NCEES, that is where I went to. I went and logged in through the NCEED cloud and clicked on the NCEES icon. Came in here to NCEES and I clicked onto professional development. And when I was in professional development, on the search bar, I clicked show all. Okay. Yep. You may have different ways to log in. Yep. Somebody
someone is
says,
saying that NCEES is under the home base tab. And
Wayne County or Wayne County. I don't know if that's Wake or Wayne. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And if you do have to log off early, that's okay. You're still registered. You still marked as attended today. This is recorded so you can watch it in full later. All right. Here you can also, on the left, I wanted to show you how to refine your searches, but that was your pin. I want to go back and see all my courses again. So I'm just going to click that little bullet up there. All right. So this refine by, I wanted to go through these. So there's all kinds of refining by sections. Whoever created the course had to tag these refinements. So you may or may not find things under here. Let's do English language arts. See if I have any. Yes, I have some self-paced courses here. You can reset your refinements by clicking the blue button or just unchecking the box. You can fold these back up and open them back down. Here's some local district strategic plans. Is there a course tied to that? Yes. Here's a SEL course. And remember that whoever created the course must have tagged it. If a course isn't tagged, it still may be what you need. You're just going to have to search for it a different way. Digital learning competencies, if we have any there. Looks like that 183 course is popular. It got a lot of tags. Here's an Intel Teach course. So just come out here and play with the refinements. Digital learning competencies. I don't think we have anything tagged here. Oh, we do. That 183 course. It's tagged for everything. But as we go down the list, I'll show you another area to search for DLCs. MTSS. Here's one that they built courses, but they did not tag their courses to the MTSS components. So we know there's MTSS courses out here. Come up here to your bar and do MTSS and hit enter. And I have 12 courses out here. So we do have some MTSS courses out here. All right, and then am I looking for self-paced courses or instructor-led courses? Most of your DPI courses are going to be self-paced, but we do have instructor-led as well. And what's the difference? So I'm going to click on self-paced. Notice that because I left MTSS up here, my results are returning both. So I could take this out. And I'm back to everything, so I'm going to do self-paced again. All right, so maybe I want to take 21st century mentoring. Let's see if I've taken this one yet. And I click into it. I have information to read about it. I can click on the credit and see how many. I'm going to get a general credit for 10 hours of work, 1.0 CEUs. So that's this general. A lot of people want to know, does it have to stay general? When you turn your certificate into your district, they can approve it to be something else if it meets a different credit type. Can they change that in NCEES? Only if they have somebody dedicated to do that. They can go into your transcript and update that if they're a NCEES district administrator. But not all districts do that, so work with your district on where that's actually housed for the proper credit type approved. You may have a third-party system out there that is housing all the credits that you've earned. Brunswick County, all your credits are in NCEES, so you may want to ask there to see if anybody can update it in NCEES. This is a course created by our NCVPS. It is built out in the Moodle system, so you would be transferred out to Moodle whenever you signed up for the course. And then there's just additional information out here. They have tagged their course to beginning teachers, it looks like. Everybody on licensure cycle year 0. You'll see a start button here. I'm going to go ahead and start it. It will try to jump me out there. It should, but I'm not sure if it will. It may not, because I don't know if this training teacher has an account. So we're not going to wait for that, but you would be jumped out into Moodle. I'm going to go ahead and close that. And then when you come back in here later, this will say, this not starter button will say, I'm finished. North Carolina doesn't do the I'm finished button. You must complete the requirements in the course. If they're self-paced, they're set up to feedback that completion to NCEES to complete your course. You could click that button all day long. You're not going to do anything with the I'm finished button. The vendor cannot hide it, so it's just disabled for us. Any questions about starting a self-paced course? I see somebody's having trouble hearing, but I think everybody else is hearing okay.
Could you repeat that last part you just said about the self-paced course? You have to complete the evaluation in NCEES.
So when you start your course and you go out to your course, it has requirements in it, whether it takes you out to Moodle or whether it takes you out to Canvas if it's a DPI course. If it's a non-Moodle course, then somebody, a teacher, an instructor, is going to mark you complete on the roster in NCEES. So you will never use the I'm finished button that will show up here, because somebody is either going to mark you complete or the system is going to mark you complete. That make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. All right, so we're going to come back over to our professional development and go back to the show all. I did want to show you the instructor-led courses, how they're different. All right, so instructor-led courses, same thing. You can pin those. They have titles, they have links, they have the credit. Here's what there's 6.25 credits. For leadership, here's a leadership course. And notice that they have sections to register for, and you can click on those and get additional information about your section. If they have attachments, you may see some additional tabs to see what other resources are attached. If they've added instructors, there'll be a list of instructors there, and if the emails are in, you can actually click on their emails to ask questions. It's going to tell you how many people can be in the class. We've got 26 folks registered for this class. And notice there's a register button. And remember, before I jumped out here, there was a register button on that page as well. So you can click the register in either place. So I'm going to show you what happens when you register. It's going to take you to this course registration page and redo the information. This is a handy little list. I've recently asked the vendor, can we have this list somewhere else? So they're looking into that. But I can click on here and say, well, how many credits do I have? And this tells you what year you earned the credit and how many credits you have. That number looks a little off, probably because it's a training account. But that's a nice little list. You can also jump to your transcript from that list. But here I want to complete my registration, so I'm going to click Next. And now it says, congratulations, you're registered. I can link it to my calendar right here if I've got that set up, or it will prompt me to set up my calendar so I can link it to my calendar. I can go back to my course list, and I can go back to the course search. Course search is your professional development tab. My course list is your My Courses tab. So we'll look there in just a second. All right, any questions about how to search for a course or pin a course or register or start a course? Okay. So I came back to the professional development tab to show you that there are refinements on this page as well. We're not going to go in depth, but this one's kind of nice. If the course has been tagged to standards, and let's look at a principal standard, I can click what's available. Explore buttons don't do anything in North Carolina. You can look and see, are there courses that have been tagged to a standard, and it will bring you up a list. So here's some administrator courses that were tagged to a standard. Right? You do the same thing for the teacher ones. Just expand that little plus and then click available. So maybe I'm just looking for an element. Maybe in my PDP goal, I'm trying to meet element 2A, teachers establish a respectful environment. Are there any courses available for that? And I can click available. Now, if nothing comes up available, doesn't mean there's not a course out there that will meet it. It just means the course creator didn't tag it. Okay. Going on down the page are those focus areas we looked at a while ago when I clicked on English Language Arts. And then at the bottom of the page is just a news area. So as newsletters come out, as our departments put PD out, I try to update this every so often. Right now, since it's the beginning of the year, it's the information for what we're going over right now today. So here's a bunch of links in there for finding PD, enrolling in, and withdrawing. All right, so that's professional development tab. Let's jump over to My Courses. We did the search. Now we want to manage our courses. So this page, again, you're going to have that same professional development news. If somebody has recommended a course to you, it's going to show up in this container. Your administrators can recommend a course. Course creators can recommend a course. If you see this course up here and you say, why is it there? I don't want to take it. I don't even want to see it. You can click the little I and you can hide that course. And then you can put it back if you want to look at it later. Let's click on it again. It takes you to the course, or you can click the I and put it back. Required training, and I have a slide for this to show you what it looks like because this training person doesn't have any required training, but it will list the same way we saw up here a while ago. It will tell you if your evaluator assigned it to you, because it'll say, Mr. Smith assigned this course to you. And then you can ask them, when do you want it done? You will not get an email that says you've been assigned required training. You'll just see it on this page. All right, so here's the courses that we've signed up for. And maybe I've decided I don't want to take this course anymore. Right now they're showing in progress with the circle with the 3 little dots. Maybe I want to withdraw from the course that I just signed up for. Here's your withdrawal button. And it's going to say, are you sure? You need to confirm, or you need to cancel your withdrawal request. So I withdraw, and it says you have been withdrawn. It gives you a link to go back. This actually took me to my full learning opportunities, so I'm going to come back to my courses. So what it did was actually take me to this learning opportunity button, which is pretty much the same as the view all button. And there's my courses that I'm taking, and here's another way to withdraw right there. You can open these up and see additional information. There's that unfinished button that doesn't do anything, but here you can go out to your course again to view it again. If you've been put on a wait list, there's a tab for that. You can navigate to your transcript from this page. You can also, I want to take you back one more time and show you where else you can get to your transcript. That's right here, my transcript button. Before we jump over there, notice if you've pinned a course, you're also going to see this, and you can open that up and see the courses that you've pinned. You can easily unpin them, take them off the list, or click into them to start them or register. All right, so if your course has been assigned a survey, some instructor-led courses have instructor-led surveys, or self-paced courses have self-paced surveys. You must complete your survey to get your certificate for your course. It will not hold up the credits that you've earned, but it will hold up your certificate. So we might have a question.
I have a question for you, Cammie. They want to know, do the required courses on PD like Safe Schools at the beginning of the year count for any CEUs?
That sounds like it's a specific question for your public school unit. That one, I don't know. If you're taking it through NCEES, it would count through with CEUs if they've been set up to earn CEUs. If you've got a certificate from that PD, you can definitely turn that in locally, and I would ask. So let's go take a look at your transcript. Yes, if you somebody,
excuse me, Cammie, she was saying, Laura was saying not through NCEES. Do you have a certificate?
So she does have a certificate. So yes, and we're going to look at the slides later to try to give you some processes to figure out who you need to turn that into at your district. So we will look at that, Laura, in a few slides in just a minute. All right. So I went to the transcript. Let me stop impersonating. I'm just, since I'm do a lot of testing out here, we're going to go look at my transcript. All right, so to get to the transcript, again, you go to My Courses, scroll down to the My Courses container, and then click on My Transcript. All right, I did want to show you that at the top, you're going to land on an area with dates in it. So this is where you can put in that 5-year range, that 3-year range, whatever cycle you're on. Put that here if you've already earned a lot of credits out here. So like if you're in Brunswick County, maybe Rutherford County, a lot of people that are using a lot of PD out here in NCEES, you may want to sort that down so you can see what credits you've earned for the certain time period. So maybe if I just do the past year, maybe you go back a couple of years. So we're going to do the fiscal years through today. And now I'll click search. And so now it's narrowed down my list for that time period of the credits that I've earned. So if you look down here, It's automatically on the All tab. So it's going to show you all the credits that you've earned. And if you scroll all the way down, you're going to get a little square box. I don't think I can make that too much bigger without it falling off the page. You're going to see the total credit that you have for that time period that you put at the top. And I can see that I need some academic subject area credits. Technology was hidden this year. Technology is no longer required and hasn't been for several years to get your licensure credits. You may need PD that includes training on technology, but it will fall under one of these other areas. So work with your district, the people that lead your PD. What can you take that includes technology to meet some of those PD goals that you might have set for yourself? If you only want to see how many digital learning competencies you have, you can click on these individual tabs. And now I'm only looking at the credit that has earned the digital learning competencies. You guys will not see this edit button. This is what, if you're in a district and you want this credit edited, your district administrator can see this and they can edit those CEUs to be a different credit type.
Okay, Cammie, I have another question. This is from Allison. Can you mention what is under academic subject area? I have my literacy CEUs, but lack in academic subject area, and she teaches ESL, mostly literacy.
Okay, so, and I don't know if there's any PD out here. If you went and searched for academic, I don't really know what falls under there. So that might be a question that I can take back and find an answer for you and send it out when we do our frequently asked questions on the follow-up email. Okay. I'm going to put it back on all. You do see two buttons. These last two over here, you're going to see a print and you're going to see an email PDF. So if somebody is needing your transcript, you can actually just email it to a PDF of it to them. Just click that, put their email in here. It will put your name on there. You can change this whole subject line if you want, but it will use this script to put your name on there. You can change the message and then just send it. You might want to copy yourself on that if you want a copy of what you did. All right, and same thing with the print. It's going to give you a print of your transcript. Very simple. And again, you can download that and save that. Do make sure if you are leaving the district to take this with you, print it out and take it with you. Save it on a hard drive, print out a hard copy. Make sure you take that kind of information with you. Same thing with your evaluations. I know we're not talking evaluations today, but make sure you print those to your in digital format or in a hard copy format. All right, so this is all about your transcript. Do we have any questions about how to get there, what you're going to see on here? I did need to show you how to find your certificate. So if you look across, you're going to have everything that's blue is a link. So here's my certificate. And it's right here. It does say that the acquiring of CEUs and contact hours is subject to your LEA or charter approval. So just because you've earned it out here doesn't mean it's automatically going to be approved. Make sure you work with the policies in your district. If I can get back. Sometimes NCEES is good with that little back button, but sometimes in PD area it gives you like a blank screen. You have to go back and start over. All right, so that's all your questions. If you had a survey, it would have a link on here for you to take that survey. Other than that box I showed you earlier, that container, it will also be on here if there was a survey to be completed. This one right here that looks different, these are coming from Transfer Credit Manager. So if you're ready and don't have any more transcript questions, we're going to go look at Transfer Credit Manager real quick. Do see a couple questions.
Okay, the first one is, Thank you for showing you how to get to this transcript. They also like to know how many CEUs are required each year after becoming certified.
Okay, we're going to go look at where to find that out on our DPI website. After we get done looking at the live site, we're going to go back to the slides and I have a bunch of links.
And then also, excuse me, also for all courses in NCEES, they have do they have to have the LEA actually issue the CEU?
The courses in NCEES will automatically give you a certificate, so you'll have that. Doesn't mean that it's approved, so there's a difference. It still needs to be approved by your district, but you do get the certificate. If the course is in NCEES and you're marked complete, you're going to have a certificate on your transcript unless you have put in a transfer credit manager request. And then how do you submit your certificate? That last question, that's going to be up to your district. You should have guidance on that individually per district on how to do that. Okay. So you work for NCVPS and they do credits, but we can take that question back to them and put that on the FAQs as well. All right, so transfer credit manager. Oh, right here. So not every district is using transfer credit manager. I have more access than you do, so I'm going to see more than you do. But what you're going to see is this my requests. So I'm going to click there.
Did you see the other question, Cammie? They're saying they're having trouble getting this down because both sides says the other district is responsible for the update.
I do not see that question, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll have to take that one back. So yes, NCEES only houses NCEES PD, the stuff that's in NCEES, unless you've submitted what we're getting ready to look at, the transfer credit manager. If you earned a bunch of stuff at Friday Institute, maybe took some Friday Institute courses this summer, you got certificates, you can actually submit those through the transfer credit manager, but do not submit them unless you know your district has a transfer credit manager approver, because it's just going to sit out there in limbo and you'll have submitted that form for nothing. Even if they do get a approver later, you would still have to resubmit it. So make sure you find out that your district is saying, yes, please submit those certificates through the transfer credit manager, and you would create a new credit request. It's not going to slow down on me now. You're going to do everything that has an asterisk. Put your course title or event title that you attended. Description is required. The dates that it happened is required. The hours that you spent is required. And now this next section is where you think the credit should apply, or where they told you that the credit should apply. All right, I can't hear. Is everybody else hearing me? Audrey, are you hearing me?
Yeah. Okay. I'm able to hear you, Cammie.
Okay. So do not use technology. That's been discontinued, but these are what you want to request. It may not be what the approver approves, but it's what you're requesting. If they're requiring you, just a minute, if they're requiring you to attach the certificate, you attach it here. You can take a picture of it. If it's digital, just attach the digital file. If they're requiring you to attach approval signatures, that's there. They do not have an asterisk because not all districts require those two areas. And then you're going to submit it for approval, and then they're either going to deny it and give you a chance to resubmit, or they're going to approve it. All right. Yes, Audrey?
Okay. Marguerite Walston said her credits are with Wake County, and now she's with Chapel Hill Carborough Schools, but Wake has not transferred the credits that were earned while she was there. She said, I understand if this is something that has to be answered individually.
Okay. Yes, it has to be answered at your PSU. Anything that you earned in NCEES goes with you, so you can still go out in NCEES, and that does not go away when you switch districts. So that's a good question. It's still in NCEES. However, Wake County may have a third-party system that they house all your credits in. So check with Wake County on when that process will happen and maybe why they haven't approved it yet, but they should have a policy on the process for that and how you need to request it. Okay, so that was Transfer Credit Manager. And then we're going to go back to the slides and make sure we've covered everything. All right, so we looked at the course search area, the advanced, how to refine settings. Here's another look at the refinements, how to pin a course, how to start your learning opportunities or register for an instructor-led. There's the start button, there's the register button. How to use the available button if you're looking for standard aligned courses. How to look for focus area aligned courses on the course search page, professional development. A lot of those areas do have these little triangle-y shapes that you can close them up or expand them. The news is also posted out there. We looked at the My Courses channel, specifically to look at your transcript, what the difference is on if you've taken a course or a learning opportunity, it has a certificate. If you've had an approved Transfer Credit Manager request, it will not have a certificate because you already earned that somewhere else. It will have your credit on the transcript and the credit type that was approved. And it does have the summary. All right, and you can sort it by dates. There's a link to the licensure system if you need to know what your licensure expiration date is. Does have that tally at the bottom so you can see what you might be missing. And then all the tabs, you can keep it on all and see all the credit types. We left technology visible because people have earned that, but remember it doesn't count toward your licensure. How to print or email a PDF of your transcript. Take it with you if you're leaving your district. And then all the information on the transcript. You can see who created the course, if it had a survey, the start and end dates, when you completed it, your certificate, what is your registration status, is going to be completed, and then the credit hours earned and the credit types. You can request edits to your transcript if your district has somebody dedicated to do that. We looked at the Manage Profile, and the Snapshot view is another place to go see the credits that you've earned. All right. We talked about recommended training. We talked about how to hide recommended training, how to show it again, the required training. Here's that screenshot. If it's been recommended by somebody, it should list who recommended it, who required it, unless it was required on the course itself. If it doesn't have a name, then whoever set up the course required it through the course setup. We talked about the progress icon. It does turn to a green check when you complete your course. The green check does go away after 30 to 40 days. That's because if you've taken PD for the last 5 years, you don't need a list a mile long out here. It does stay recorded on your transcript, but it will disappear off your My Courses list once it's completed after about 30 or 40 days. There's the withdrawal icon. All right. And there's the My Learning Opportunities. We looked at how to view everything, the different areas to withdraw, how to view your course again. The Unfinished button doesn't do anything.
Okay, Cami, Alfredo wants to know, can they also see who recommended a course?
Alfredo, I'm going to have to go back and look at my screenshots. I want to say yes, but I'm going to have to go back and just verify that. Yeah, if it doesn't have a name, it's probably definitely been set up on the course setup. I'm pretty sure if an administrator recommended it through, and I'll go show you that in just a minute. with the slides. In your rubrics on your standards and elements, you can take a course under the light bulbs. And we're going to look at that real quick before we end today. So I'm just going to click through the rest of this because we've talked about all of this. If you've been assigned to teach a course, you're also going to see a I'm Teaching Courses channel to get you an easy way to access the course that you're teaching so you can manage the roster. All right, let's talk about these light bulb moments. All right, so when you're in your observation, I don't know if you've ever noticed, they're very tiny. There's these little light bulbs. And if the course has been aligned to a standard or an element, the light bulbs show up, and there are possibly courses under there that you can take. So in your PDP, if you said, I need to meet Standard 1, Teachers Demonstrate Leadership, and I would sure love to take a course on that, click on the little light bulb. It will open up this window. Now, this window works for administrators and it works for teachers or individuals. So if you're an individual, you're going to come in here and you're going to click the register button. You don't need to worry about the rest of this. So when you click on the light bulb, it says, oh, this course is aligned to Standard 1. So I'm just going to click the register and I can actually start a course while I'm in my rubric. If you're an administrator, this is also where you go. You'll see the light bulb and you're having that post-observation conference. You want to recommend a course. Go ahead and come out here, check the box for the course you want to recommend. Do you want to recommend it or do you want to require it? Which container do you want it to show up in? So, and then you must select to have it show in the recommended channel or required channel. So select one of these and then select recommended or required and then click add. And that's what makes it show up, and that puts your name on there. So yes, I think this answers Alfredo's question. It should put the evaluator's name if they've required a course. There's just a little step through. It's very similar to what we looked at a while ago when we did instructor-led course. Even if it's self-paced, it's going to say register for the course. You're going to click through the steps and click and finish up, and it will give you that. Congratulations, you've registered for the course. Any questions about light bulbs? Okay. We did go through Transfer Credit Manager. Remember, don't use it. Don't use it unless you know you have a credit approver.
Cammie, excuse me, another question from Allison. Does it say what area course it is under, such as academic, subject area, digital learning, etc.?
Only if the course creator has tagged it as such or aligned it as such. It may have it in the notes, so I would look through the notes as well. But it doesn't necessarily always, it's just like anything else. A course creator can set up the course, but unless they've tagged the box or checked the box that said, yes, this aligns to element 2A, or this aligns to an academic subject area, it's not going to show up under the refinements, but that doesn't mean the course doesn't meet those. So check whoever you're working with for your PD leads. Run that request by them. Several districts have pre-approval processes, so they'll look at the course and say, yes, this does meet what we expect you to meet for the academic subject area or the DLC. The help for the Transfer Credit Manager guide is here. It's on page 6 for the piece that you'll see. All right, and this is what it looks like on your transcript. All right. So now we're going to get to answer some of the rest of those questions that you had. How do I find my credit opportunities? We did just look on how to find it in NCEES. Where else can I find credit opportunities? This is informational only. I am not authoritative on this, but I'm going to show you where you can go look to find your answers. So first thing, what if I'm retired was one of the questions and I need some credit to take. Here's a link for that. This is a list that DPI has put together. It is not endorsed by DPI. So at the very bottom, there will be a little statement down here that says, we do not endorse this. We're simply passing it along. Please vet it before using any of these resources. but we have several resources out here that you can link to. Go check it out. We try to tell you if it's free, if there's a fee, but plenty of areas out here that you can go. And this isn't just for retired folks. Maybe you're looking for some DLCs. You've already taken everything in NCEES that's connected to a DLC credit type. Maybe you want to find some others. Friday Institute probably has a lot. Just go check these other areas out. And remember, of course, you need your district approval. Some districts require pre-approval, so check it out before you take it. Okay, where else can I find PD? Well, all of our divisions at NCDPI, I watch those newsletters that go out, and I see a lot of PD offered in those newsletters. So you can click this link here, and you can actually sign up for the newsletter. Let's see if I remember my password. All right, so you'll get to this page. This top list is for DPI internal folks. Come down here. See if I make it bigger for you. Department and division news. These are lists that are open for public subscription. Maybe you're a psychologist. Maybe you want that newsletter. Go check it out. Just check the box and you'll start getting their weekly or monthly newsletter, how often they send it out. Here's the ELA newsletter, Global Education newsletter, K3 Literacy newsletter. Good place for you to keep up with your specific type. There's world language, English language learners, all kinds of things, STEM, and then just submit. It's going to ask you some additional questions. Do you want all this other stuff? You just skip the next page and then submit it. Okay. All right. Find out. This is for you to do. Where are your CEs recorded in your PSU? Now, if you're in Brunswick County, everything is in NCEES. If you're an HRMS district, whatever's in NCEES will transfer to HRMS, but somebody at HRMS, the lead person for HRMS, has to reconcile that. So they may or may not be doing that. They may have another process for those credits from NCEES to be turned into them so that they can enter it in HRMS. Find out. Talk to your HR Central Services area. If you're a Link HR district, you may have your credits stored there. Maybe you're using Frontline, and there are other third-party systems out there. Your district may not just be using NCEES for credits. In fact, a lot of districts probably have currently a third-party system to keep up with all your credits that you've earned. Any questions about that? This is what you need to think about. Some districts say, we're going to approve anything that you take that's offered in NCEES. And other districts say, you need to turn it into us before you take it, even if it is in NCEES. So check your policies. Do you need pre-approval? Do you have to have a signature before you take the course or take the learning opportunity? Does your PSU have a local, as public school unit, have a local policy for professional development? What if I want to take PD that's out of district or out of state? How do I get that approved? And then how many credit hours can I earn in a given time period? I'm going to look at this next slide. Here, I just did a search on different schools' websites. And here's some samples. Everybody's different. So I searched for CEUs, I searched for certification, professional development, licensure, and human resources. And it got me a good selection out there. But your district should have some information, or they should at least have a contact page of who your PD leads are in your district that you can go ask those questions. How many credit hours can I earn in a given time period? I had to go relook at that question. So some districts require that you not wait till that final 5th year to take all your PD. Other districts don't care. If you want to wait till the final year, fine. But your district may say You have to take at least 5 credits each year, 10 credits each year, whatever the requirement is. So find out what they say and what their policy is. Here are the links for the DPI website. It's going to tell you what kind of credits you need. So I'm going to click on this first one. I'm going to put that in the chat for you. I'll put both of these in the chat before we click over there. I know we're getting close to the end, but we are towards the end of our slides. All right, so I'm going to click on this first one. Educator's license page. This is where you need to come out, and over here, Educator Prep, apply for or access your license. What are the areas of licensure? There you go. Look, here's all the different areas of licensure that you can come out here and see what's required. And then you've also got, let me come back one. The process for the educator license. If you're brand new, here's some forms and frequently asked questions. Licensure for administrators, public licensure lookup if you're looking for years or where you're at on your licensure cycle. Maybe you need to renew. I think we had a question about renewing or updating your professional educator license. There's a page for you. There's the requirements for the year. And there's a lifetime license requirement. Renewal criteria, all kinds of information out here. Okay. All right. So let's get back to your questions. On this page are the questions we looked at the beginning of the session. And then I put in here what slide you need to go to find the answers. So I hope that's helpful. I think we've answered all your questions. Does anybody have any additional questions out there, Audrey?
One more question, Cammie.
Okay.
It's that Emily said that she participated in your PD last week and received the email with her 0.1 CEU, but it does not yet show up on her transcript for NCEES. How does she resolve that?
Okay, so Emily, I will find your email. If you registered, last week's session was a registering in NCEES. You could have done that during the live session. So if you registered, I just have to go back. I did complete everybody that registered that day during the live session, and that credit and certificate is on the transcript. So I will check on yours.
And then Suzette wants to know, Wake County in Wake County, does technology credits not go towards relicense?
That's going to be a question for Wake County. Yes, you can still earn stuff for technology, but it's usually going to be under a different credit type now.
And also Emily, Alicia.
Yeah, she wants to check on her certificate.
Her certificate,
All right, and I'll check for Emily, and then who do I contact if I have general questions about accessing my CEUs for Durham Public Schools? Check with your NCEES lead at first. They're probably familiar with who is your lead for PD in Durham. I don't know off the top of my head, and I don't know of a public list of who the leads are. We may have a list on the DPI site that if you go out to DPI and go under Educator, go under Home Base, go under Support and Maintenance, there's a list of your contacts, and we do have NCEES PD leads sometimes listed out there that you can find a name or a contact. If we have time at the very end, I'll do that navigation. But I want to get through these resource slides, and then we're going to sign off and get you the link for, let me go ahead and give you the link for our feedback, because I know it's getting towards the end of time. So here's your feedback survey. If you fill this out, you will We appreciate it. We'd like to know what we did well and what we need to improve on. But at the end, the final 2 questions are, do you want a certificate? And if you do, please give us your name and your email, and then it will email you that certificate in the body of the email. So I just want to give you quick resources. The NCEES page, I do have a list out there of all the courses that are in NCEES that as of July 1st. I try to run that quarterly. There's the list. I put the link out there because it's hard to know just doing a search. What are all the courses that are published out there? And then here's the NCVPS. So these courses are in the link that I just gave you, but they used to have a different site and now they have a new site. So it used to be rt3nc.org. Now this is their new site. It has that same information. Just wanted to show it to you real quick because it is 5. If you scroll down, you'll see all the courses that they have. You can look at them. You can see how many credits there are and get the information, but you have to come back to NCEES to sign up for them. Remember that our courses are free. They're available. Everything's available in the course, in the modules. And once you complete a course, it will feed back. So I see there are no courses under exceptional children or for EC pre-K. Try doing just an individual search for, and don't do the whole word exceptional. You can just do EXCEP or something, or EC. We have all those ECATS courses out there, so search for ECATS. And then, Dawn, if you need help later, just email me and I'll try to track that down for you. Our NCEES Google site, everything that I've recorded goes on the YouTube playlist as well, which is linked on our NCEES Google site. And then thank you for attending. We got a little quick there at the end. So I hope you got a lot of good information today. I am going to stop the recording, but I will hang on. If you want to unmute and ask individual questions, you're welcome to. We had close to 80 or 90 folks on board, so thank you guys for coming out today, taking your time on the Tuesday evening to join us. We'll have this posted by Friday. And you're welcome. I see all the thank yous. Thank you guys. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. You guys have a great evening.
All right. I'm trying to do the survey.